We're waiting. All right, we should be live right now. This video is about getting wealthy in America, getting wealthy in the United States, and how the indoctrination in the credit system harms you. One of the things that we have going on is talk about real estate. I posted, that there was this group and someone that posted this silly notion that paying for cash for cars was a bad ideal. This is how bad the indoctrination is. Whether you pay 3%, 7%, 10%, 12%, you pay more money when you buy a car on credit than you do when you pay cash. These are the fundamental facts. These are the numbers. Where, if you get like 0% financing, okay. But that's only for people with like the 780 credit scores. And this is how indoctrinated people are to this system of credit. And, we're talking about real estate, and it's like, hey, why buy one piece of real estate and pay cash when you can spread that money out over 5 pieces of real estate, carry a note, pay more money? And also, I met someone who is a real estate investor who has 4 loans out. And I've been doing some calculations. Her 4 loans based upon her income don't come up to one house. And that's why she's able to keep getting this financing, because of her income. She's like, well, when I was really rolling, I made $250K a year. $250K a year is enough for you to buy $1 million house. So her portfolio is at about 360. So she could keep going, getting these loans until she hits that upper limit. So that's one of the things that I figured out. So also, for those of you who are interested, you could get the money management course, because we're going to talk about that. The link should be under the video, or you can go to hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. It's on the first page, and put the promo code money in. After this stream is over, I'll put it below the video. But right now, one of the things that I aim to do is to educate people on the cost of borrowing. It's like an addiction, because you get these people, and I went back to every person that suggested I do that, and I said, are you currently doing that? No answer. Cricket, 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 because they're not doing it. See, the suggestion is people want to sound smart. People want to come across as educated. And this has been the wisdom, the sage advice for about 4 decades. Don't spend cash. Use other people's cash. And I, for one, don't agree with that, because I know what paying cash has done for me. And this doesn't mean that you don't have good credit. You have good credit, which is easier when you have the ability to pay cash for stuff, and you have the cash, because good credit does count for some stuff. You just need that high FICO score for certain things. But you America's drunk on credit. It is crazy. Good Lord. That bill is high. And one of the things that the money management course will do is teach you how to corral your money, how to get a hold of your money, how to stack money with your current income situation. Because I contend that before you start making more money, you need to manage the money that you make very well. Because if you don't, if you make more money, it's just going to get absorbed in lifestyle creep. It's just going to go to pay bills, or you will come up with some pills, or you will expand your lifestyle to take up that money, to spend that money. Getting wealthy in America, if you have an income of about $50 to $70,000 a year, and you parlay that into investments and you avoid a lot of debt, you could become wealthy with that salary. It's going to take you depending upon how aggressive you are, it's going to take 1 to 4 decades. And 1 decade being super aggressive, like banking half or if not more than your income. And this creates another little problem. When you become pathologically cheap, it becomes a lifestyle. You could have $10 million and you'll still be living like a crackhead because you just can't see spending money on certain things, even though you have it. And I feel that money should be enjoyed. Money should be used constructively, and money should be shared. And these are people don't have those beliefs. They don't have those mindsets. They just don't. Cash is king, and there's a lot of problem. 250K annually is the goal right now. 250K gives you the ability to invest 100K a year. I want you to think about that. Even with the taxes and stuff, because essentially you would pay your taxes, you could invest 100K, and you have 50 to 60,000 to live on. That's great. You can get wealthy with that income. Rob, for real estate is a trap. Black Caesar, I don't think it's about wisdom. I think it's about indoctrination. I mean, I want you to understand how this happens. You're a kid, you're graduating high school, then someone says, hey, sign your name to this paper, and we're going to give you 50, 60, 80, 100K for college. That's where it starts. That's where it starts. Because anytime you talk about spending cash, like if a family had saved up money and they were going to pay cash for the college, people was like, no. Take this money and put it in a CD. Take this money and put it in some stocks. Borrow the money and pay the money back with the proceeds from the investments. And I mean, it's this. This is the indoctrination. This is the problem that people, and I will reference Damon Dash. People are not accustomed to spending their own cash because when he did his projects, he spent his own money. That's why he says the things he says. That's the way he acts the way he does. And a lot of people are not with it. They do not want to spend their own money. What amounts qualifies as wealth? That's very interesting. Let's answer this question like this, Trav. Let's say you had 5 rental properties that were paid off, and these 5 rental properties pushed money towards you without doing anything. Guess what? You're wealthy. See, wealth is not the amount of money you have. Wealth is the amount of income producing assets that you have. Because let's say you had $10 million. You were in the NFL, you signed a contract, 10 million, boom, on the barrelhead. Well, once that 10 million is gone, because there's no more money coming in. So that 10 million is a high number and it could do many things. But once that money's gone, it's gone. See, wealth is passive income. Wealth continues. Wealth it has income producing assets. Whether you wake up today or tomorrow, money still comes in. So wealth isn't a set amount. It's about having income producing assets. Because you can have like 100 million and that will qualify you as wealthy. And typically people who have a net worth of 100 million have things coming in. But if you just had that 100 million and no more money coming in, like these lottery winners, there is a chance, however crazy it sounds, that in 5 or 8 years, you could be broke because you spend the money and you don't understand how money works. I'm at 450K. It took 15 years to get here. I was at 250 at 31. When you get to that level, your life changes. At that point, you should not be financing cars because you have enough money to pay cash for any car you want. Uh, that's the number that you start to get freedom, that you could spend money, you could save money, you could do stuff like that. Benny Grant Cardone has said that 1 million is enough to retire. I know it depends on the Southern Circuit. 1 million, if you just got $1 million and that $1 million is not producing any income, no, 1 million isn't enough to retire on because you would spend that down in 20 years. See, the name of the game is having your money work for you. That's the game. So go back to this. Let's say you had 5 houses that were paid off, that were producing income. For most people who are in this chat room, the income from 5 houses is enough to retire on. Because, I'm getting in this real estate thing and I'm just blown away because my last apartment that I had many years ago, the rent on that same apartment is $1,950. When I left, it was $1,100. It's almost doubled. And I was looking for some economical properties that I can buy and move someone in. And I would be at the 200K mark. There's a few condos I can get, and I have to look at that because I'm a little concerned about HOA fees. But, so those 5 houses, just a regular house, nothing special, it's going to give you $1,200 to $1,300 per house. So times 5, that's like $7,500 per month. It's like $83,000 a year. That's retirement for most folks because the thing is, the income keeps going in. Plus, if you have real estate, periodically your income goes up when you raise the rent. So that happens. Right, our wealth is making money while you sleep. Absolutely. Because this is one of the reasons that I push starting a business. Often I wake up in the morning with notifications that people bought products in the middle of the night. So I was making money while I was asleep. You want to set up something that makes money once you take your hands off of it. Because when I was in the hospital after the heart attack, this YouTube channel and everything, it still made money because the way it was set up. So wealthy, like let's go to back to Benny. Grant Cardone has said that 1 million is enough to retire on. I know it depends on some circumstances. What do you think? Let's say these 5 houses did not collectively come up to $1 million net worth, but because they produce cash flow that enables you to retire and have money. See, the whole million, the whole number. I've known the people who were not millionaires, but had income producing assets that were able to retire, were able to send their kids to school, were able to do many, many different things because they had income producing assets. That's where you want to go. One of the fastest ways to get an income producing asset is to start a business. Benny, so Glenn, I'm in a very difficult spot. I work at 2 dead-end jobs, have little saved. no medical, living paycheck to paycheck. What would you do if you were in my spot? Thanks. I was in your spot. And this is how I got out of it. First of all, I had one job to pay my bills and another job to save money. And it was really difficult getting to both jobs out of the car. Essentially, what you're going to have to do is come out of that and you're going to have to get more skill sets so you can get a better job. That's the thing that you're going to have to do. You're gonna have to figure out a way that you can enhance your skill sets. You can use the internet. You can use online courses and make yourself more valuable. Rob, for real estate, be very selective on the condos. Many have many rules that make it not worth it. Oh, I know. There was a situation where I have a friend that he was going to buy another townhouse in his community, but the board would not let him rent that townhouse out, so he didn't buy it. What's up, Veggios? So one of the big things is with dealing with cash, and you have to be intentional with dealing with cash, is putting together your money. Like you go through the money management course. I'm going to teach you how to do that because that is very, very important. Because like I'm talking to people, and with real estate, there's so many ways to get put on. There is subject to, there's the wholesale method. Because many people recommend that if you're a new real estate investor, do wholesaling first. And I don't think wholesaling is going to prepare you how to flip a house. I think flipping a house is going to prepare you how to flip a house, because wholesaling is just going out, finding someone that has a property that's in need of some money, and then flipping that contract to someone else. And apparently there's a lot of people in need. There's a lot of houses out there because wholesaling is big business. And wholesaling is a way for you to get your money up, but it's not going to prepare you for flipping houses. I was a doorman at a luxury condo in Harlem, New York City. I think they're overrated. Everyone knows all your business, constant fees and nonsense rules. Maddox, 10% in savings, 10% invest in yourself, and 10% back into a hustle and live on 70%. No, you want to take what you live on as low as you can, because your job, which is your vehicle that you can get wealthy with, is where the money comes in. Because this is something else I want to address. Many people who have a negative net worth, and this means that if you add up everything that they have, stocks, bonds, 401k, furniture and stuff, and then they subtract what they owe, they have a negative net worth. You should not be investing in anything if you have a negative net worth. You should be getting rid of this stuff, getting stuff paid off, because essentially you compromise your dollars. Instead of you being able to put a strong dollar in the market, your dollar is lost 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, some cases 70% because of all the obligations that you have. So trying to be an investor, and this is what many people try to do. They try to invest past their debt. This is why Bitcoin was so so popular. This is why a lot of people were like doing crazy stuff, like mortgaging their house to buy Bitcoin. Wholesaling is a good way to get down payment for a property. The real estate investor that I knew of, had a job that paid her bonuses. And every year she would take her bonus and put it down on the property. And she was buying like, $100,000 properties. So this is how she was able to get all these loans and mortgages. Because once I dove into it, because she has an exposure limit, and your exposure limit is comprised of your income. And well, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Once you reach that exposure limit, the bank's going to say no. So one of the things that you guys have got to do is get out of debt. This is why, we have all kinds of side hustles. This is why you've got to really, really work hard to get out of debt and to avoid non-business debt. Like, let's say you have a house and you want to remodel your kitchen. I would not take out a consumer loan product to remodel the kitchen. I would take out a loan and put into a business to give me the money to remodel the kitchen. Because once you take your precious dollars and divert them to a loan product that doesn't cast off any dividends, once you go ahead and remodel that kitchen, it's done, and you pay back that loan, it doesn't make you any money. So you always got to think, how can my money make money? This is the thing you have to do. How can my money make money? How can I take my dollars? Because right now, I'm splitting my dollars like into advertising, and I'm splitting my dollars into real estate because I live on a very small percentage of my income. And a small percentage of my income would be a nice living for most people. And that's where you want to be. You want to raise your income to as high as you can get it so you can live off a little bit, take excess dollars and invest them in income producing assets. This is where your money should be going. This is what you should be doing. This is the game that you should play. And many people don't know how to play this game. Grant Barnes. I bought a house directly from an owner for $95K on a monthly loan made out to him years ago. The owner died and I stopped paying. Now the state says I owe millions of dollars. What? You should owe his estate, not the state. The state should have nothing to do with this. There's more to that story. When he dies, the property probably went into probate. But if you had a contract, well, you said you stopped paying. So that's where you got in problems. Because even though he died, if you had a contract and you fulfilled your obligation of the contract, you shouldn't have no issues. Are you living in the house? And this is one of the biggest ways that people get into wholesaling is they'll have a house that's free and clear that someone died and then someone inherited the house and they don't want the house. Grant Barnes getting an attorney. Explain that, Rod, for real estate. How did the state even get into this transaction? I don't understand that. He started a janitorial. He started a janitorial business, but he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how to sell. He didn't know how to market. See, it's not the business. It's the person who is running the business. That's the trick. That's the game. And this is why I tell you guys to go ahead and get the money management course and learn how to manage your money. before you start making more money. Because I have gone through this. I used to be like you guys. I used to get paid, go out and buy stuff. I mean, I was the absolute worst. I did a title pawn loan. I used to put stuff in the pawn shop. I just did not know how to handle my money. Probably from the hair search and other searches. Right. When you die without a will, trust the state acts as your trustee to protect your estate. But also could charge the estate for administrating the estate. Yeah, I get all that. I don't see how that's going to be millions of dollars on a $95,000 house. I can see how that can be a few thousand. But once again, he needs to look at his contract. And the big problem is he stopped paying. That's the big problem. Plan on buying houses and renting them out. They look for all debts associated with the estate. David Gogo, I'm running an architectural business and hired too many people, so profits were slim. How can I grow without hiring? You will have to look at your overhead, and you will have to become a surgeon and start cutting out some fat. For the love of beauty, no one should think about being that irresponsible. You could leverage credit to pay off houses. Yeah, there's definitely more to the story. Douglas Jones, what do you do if tenants stop paying? Evict them. Well, I might get some condos. Yeah, because a lot of people, they get funding. And this is one of my problems. They don't know what to do with the money. They don't know how to deploy the money. And this creates a big, big problem. Because you could go out, if you have a 720 credit score and you know what you're doing, you get up to $500,000 to $1 million in funding between lines of credit, credit cards, but you don't have the knowledge how to deploy that money. It's going to make a fool of you. This is what I tell everybody that comes to me and it's like, hey man, I got 10,000, I got 20,000, I got 30,000. I want to start a business. Where should I start? First of all, put that money back in the bank and leave it in the bank. And start a business with sweat equity. Because your first goal is to make some money. And then once your business is shaped up, making money, then you want to go out and then you can buy some marketing. But until your product or service is proven where you can sell a few of them, I wouldn't even do that. I mean, I don't like stocks, man. Everybody like, there are people who love stocks, who are well educated on stocks. I'm not well educated on stocks, not my thing. I'm educated on starting businesses that produce cash, and I know real estate can produce cash. Well-rounded, I think you should have a business plan or a blueprint before you think about applying for funding. I think you should have your business started and you should be trying to make money before getting funded. Like if you're gonna get into trucking and you're gonna buy a truck, Okay, trucking simple. Buy a truck, get a driver, run loads. Very simple. But you get up to, let's say you have $500,000 available to you in business credit because you have a 720 FICO score. Where would you put that money? I'm going to tell you something that's stupid, and don't do this. When I was selling office furniture, I met this lady. I didn't sell her the furniture. She spent $30,000 on office furniture. She rented an office. She did all this stuff. And 18 months later, that furniture came up for sale because she had closed down. She had spent all of this money on the infrastructure of her business, but she did not build her business. So don't be like that chick. Benny, is starting a business risky or is that mentally overblown? I think today starting a business is as about risky as having a job. It's risky if you do it wrong. It's risky if you get yourself in a certain situation. If it's risky if you are over leveraged. And this is, what a lot of people, because I saw some stuff on Facebook. This guy, he was $25,000 in debt for his business because he wasn't running a lean, profitable machine. See, this is one of the things that many business owners do. They'll build a business and they'll build it for their family and society. Well, I need an office. I need this. I need that. They'll go out and buy the stuff that their business may not even need. I learned this lesson from a business guy named Andy who had a robust business. His office looked like hell. He did not need a showcase office. So you have many people in this situation. I am Nate. It can be risky, but the best business is something you know are good at. Before I started my mentoring business, I worked in the field for 10 years before I started. Yeah, Benny, I would not open up a restaurant unless I had a business partner that had 10, 15 years in the restaurant business. But I will go with Nate. Start a business doing something that you know about. That's something that you are good with. Like, look at me. I took my storage auction knowledge and turned that into a business. Then I'm taking my business knowledge and now I've turned it into a business. All right. We got some clowns in the chat room. But one of the things that you should do is become comfortable with money because many people have a habit of not having money. It's a habit, and you need to develop a habit of holding on to money. This is one of the big issues that I see with American culture. You've got people who make 200K who leverage that 200K into a 300K a year lifestyle through credit. That's not good, man. And America's drunk on credit. And the problems start happening when the credit starts tightening up. Because in the next 6 months, you're going to see credit tighten up. Next 6 to 9 months. Because we're on path of a recession. And as many people are trying to I saw this in a Facebook post. Well, the media is just pushing this recession thing. And this guy's like, any evidence? And I put the yield curve inverted 3 times in less than 8 months. Reliable predictor of a recession. He didn't respond. These Trump people, they're like living in an alternative universe where there's alternative facts, fake facts, functional facts, and the real facts. It is wild. It is crazy how people don't understand the power of money. So let's go through this example. Let's take, you got $300 a month to put into Bitcoin. So it's $3,600 a year that you can be putting into Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't pay you a dividend. And the only time you realize gains is when you sell it at a profit. So you go ahead and you start this lawn service. And every week it makes you $500, 2,000. And this is part-time. You got a full-time job. You can only cut lawns between 4 and 8 p.m. So this is making you about 2,000 a month. You're better off with that lawn service that makes you $2,000 a month versus putting $300 into Bitcoin and hoping that it goes to the moon so you can sell it for a lot of money. The lawn service gives you the ability to control your financial destiny. David Gogo, in London, everyone is drunk on credit here. The recession is here. My credit score is excellent, close to 800. I'm looking to put a few townhouses on my grandmother's property. Have you ever built a house before? Because once again, if you've never built new constructions, I would partner with someone who has done that. Rael, Americans overall learned nothing from the last recession. I did. And when things become real cheap, I'm ready to scoop up assets. I am Nate. I run my business from home on my laptop and cell phone. Money answers all things, pretty much. Z King, I'm starting a hair care product business. I want to have my hair product in local beauty supply stores in my area to start, but I don't know how I would arrange that. Any advice? Get on the phone and call them up and say, hey, I got this hair care product. Would you carry it? That's where you would start. Bit Connect. Trav, I pay everything with credit and I use one of my side gigs to pay it off. Side gig brings in 22, credit usage is 1,500. It depends on what you're trying to do, man. The fact that you can pay it off each month is excellent. Yes, the recession is here already. Benny, at one of my dating jobs, I pumped gas. So many people, so many negative coworkers. Any suggestions? They say the work is overrated. They all play video games a lot. Any suggestions? Just ignore them. It sounds like you need to get into a new environment. You may need to pack up and move to another state. Just had a new lead reach out to me on a duplex. Looking forward to making the deal. Cool. Kevin Godby to start a YouTube channel and build your wings on the way down. Because one of the things that's going to happen is with YouTube changes so much that, you need to go ahead and get started and learn as you do videos. Show on TV. What are the do's and don'ts when moving to a new city? Do have a new job before you get there. Have a place to stay when you before you get there. Benny was thinking about teaching in Vietnam. I have my education degree. Dude, I mean, it sounds like you need to move because you're in a little podunk town. So you may need to move, Benny, because environments are very important to success. If you're in an environment that doesn't support your success, you're in an environment with a bunch of losers, you're in an environment with a bunch of people with no goals, that can weigh on you. I mean, Benny, travel will change you as a person. It will do so much for you. So you may need to move because one of the things is you got to get a handle on your money. I don't care if you make minimum wage, you should still have a savings account. Because the thing is, like, take these guys who are in college, who are going to be playing this weekend, and some of these guys are going to be multimillionaires next year. They're coming from an environment where they don't have any money. They're living in a dorm. You know, if I had an NFL player, first thing I would do would put this dude on a budget. And like whatever car he wants, we'll go out and pay cash for it. We'll give him a nice crib, pay cash for it. And then he'll be on the budget. No balling out of control, no funding new chicken joints, no bailing out mom and dad, and just prepare him for a solid financial future. Rod, I'm looking for a truck driver, looking at getting a truck. Rod for real estate. Yeah, that trucking game is no joke, man. And I think it's very popular. I think Hood Estates has a course, and a lot of people are getting into the trucking business. And trucking is going to get hit in this recession. It's not going to stop, but it is going to slow down. Them NFL dudes need 6 checking accounts, one for the extra P. Extra P. That's funny. Well, and the NFL has all these courses and mentors and folks for them to talk about how to handle their money. And a lot of folks just don't listen. So, one of the things, and once again, for you, the reason I'm doing this live stream, you can go to Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills and go get the money management course 50% off and use promo code money. And they will get you 50% off. Make sure, yep, it's money. For the money management, the basics of finance course. Go ahead and get that. Shaq said same thing in interviews. Put all the money you have coming into different checking accounts. Association builds assimilation. One of the reasons that a lot of these ballers marry these white chicks is for the family connections, because typically a white girl will have a business owner in their family. And funny story, I forget his name. He used to play for the Bulls, and someone in the Bulls management introduced his white daughter to this black basketball player, and they got married. I think it was BJ Webb. I'm not sure. Benny, no, just happened. I didn't have traditional heart attack. And no chest pains and nothing like that. Yeah, I'm glad I'm still here too. So another thing that you have to understand about money is you're going to have to get used to spending money in your business. And for me, this was a big change. Coming from a resale background where I could spend $1 and I can make 10, I can make 50, I can make 20, I can make 30, I can make 40, I can make 100. It was just very hard to pay for, paid traffic, but I got over it. I definitely got over it. And Shaq, look at Shaq. Shaq is still making a lot of money from endorsements. Shaq hadn't dribbled a ball in what, 10 years, 15 years? When did Shaq retire? (2011). Shaq retired 2011. It's 2019. He's still making money off endorsements. Shaq's like that goofy friend you just have over who makes everybody feel good, just hanging out. Yep, icy hot commercials. Oh, he just opened a Papa John's franchise in Atlanta too. Shaq's a hustler, no doubt about it. Barbecue chicken commercials. This is one of the things that many people don't understand. Shaq understands that he needs to keep cash coming in. He needs investments. He needs cash flow. And this is one of the things, before you get to the cash flow, you got to get to the money management. This is why you need the 5 checking accounts, which is included in the money management course, so you can start segmenting your money. I have a whole new business account that I'm stacking money in for these real estate purchases. I got the holding company. I'm getting ready to create the operating company because I feel that I'm going to pull the trigger on something soon. Chris Brown owns 16 Burger King franchises. Really? Shaq rents the yacht. I didn't even know, it makes sense that Shaq would have a yacht, but I didn't even know that about him. I'm more impressed with Chris Brown owns 16 Burger King franchises. Coach G should work with someone. Yeah, because the thing is, if you've never built a house, you're going to have to be the GC on that construction. The way that was explained to me before you get into rehabbing, because my first property is not going to be a rehab. I'm not going to do the rehab. Probably get into rehabbing probably properties 6 through 10. And this is why. I want to go ahead and acquire property, get cash flow going, so the real estate business will support itself. So I get 5 properties. I got like $7,500 to $8,000 a month coming in. That helps you weather a lot of storms. Plus, I still got my business income. Y'all need to learn from Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson has positioned himself quite well. Magic Johnson Theaters. He was the GM for the Lakers. Essentially, we all need to learn how to manage our money well and get off the drunk credit carousel. Like, you should use none of your credit for personal needs. You shouldn't be out here buying big screen televisions with your credit. You shouldn't be out here buying 22, 22-inch rims with your. You should develop a business. You should use your credit to get your business up and rolling. Then take income from that business to buy the stuff. Goddess Joel Magic has Jumbo Juice shops as well. Because the name of the game is getting yourself income producing assets. This is how you get wealthy in the United States of America. And you could be wealthy without being a millionaire. Let me say this again. You could get wealthy without being a millionaire. Let's say you got 8 rental properties, they're all paid off, and they come up to $800,000. But those 8 properties are generating cash every month that goes in your pocket. When you can create assets or buy assets that generate cash, this is how you play the wealth game. This is how you play the wealth game. One of the things that helped me was I have this business that provides cash 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when I'm asleep. When I sleep, I wake up in the morning, I've got PayPal notifications, I got Stripe notifications. So while I was asleep, I was making money. And then, from this business, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to move it over to real estate. I remember years ago when I was coming out of the boarding house, I met this couple who had retired and they were real estate investors. And I think they had 10 properties and they were retired. They had 10 properties, breaking them off cash every month. So this is the way that you get wealthy in America. Shaq just started his own chicken sandwich franchise in Vegas. Bigger picture, I love how he tells his children they need a certain education and skill set to get access to the wealth he's built. Absolutely. You just can't give kids all of this money and expect them to be normal. I mean, essentially, they will be getting the money. Like my kids will be in their 30s before they get any money. There's just no point in doing that. Like all these rappers buying their kids Porsches and Rolls Royces and stuff. The kid doesn't have the talent to make that kind of money to buy those type of things. Think about that. Brooklyn style, how do you use your business credit to lease an apartment? One of the things you're going to need is a paydex. There are apartments that rent to businesses, and they're going to you need to see 2 years of tax returns. You're going to need a paydex. Bill Gates has already given his kids a lot of money. What's up, Tony? Or 10NY? Because the thing is, giving someone access to wealth who hasn't built it is a recipe for seeing that wealth go and bye-bye. I think Bill Gates is doing more than that for his kids. He's just telling people that so people don't attack his kids when he's gone. Yep. LVMCD, absolutely. See, this is one of the things that a lot of people do. They'll start a business without intention. And using the holding company, operating company structure, your intention is to grow your business very big. And many people just start a business like, we just out here doing stuff. We're just out here. We're not going to really do anything big. Well, if they're properly raised, Benny, See, Be Real, Shaq has told his kids none of them could touch his wealth until they at least bring him a master's degree. Well, see, Shaq can play that game because he's created businesses where his kids can go work in the business. They'll never have to be out here fighting for a job or worrying about getting laid off. He can play that game because Shaq has his PhD. So, this is just one of the things. Because in the grand scheme of things, whether Shaq had a degree, a master's degree, a PhD, it wouldn't matter to his income. His skill was dribbling that rock. That's what got him all the money. I'm putting my real estate holdings in a trust that will have instruction that they will be hands off from my kids. Who's going to be the beneficiary of your trust in if it's going to be hands off of your kids? You got to designate that. And once again, for you guys to get your money management skills up, it's 50% off the basic money management course. Go to hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. Promo code is money. Because you got to get that money, man. You got to set that up. You've got to. So one of the things that people should understand is you need to be intentional about your money management. You need to be intentional about your savings. You need to be intentional where your money goes. You need to have some intentions. All right, so I will see you guys later. Y'all have a good one. And give me a second. I will put the links and stuff below the video for you to get the money management course and all that. So with that, I'll see you guys later.